Yes, please.
All right, here you go. You're welcome.
Thank you, man.
You're very welcome.
I'm sleepy, bro.
She seemed nice.
Yeah.
So how did we meet?
How did we meet?
When did you first hear
Like, this is the tale back in time?
starting at the beginning? Like, when's the first time you heard my beautiful voice?
Is this a conversation with Albie?
No, this is Table for Two.
Oh. I don't think I heard your voice first.
You must have heard my voice for the first time sometime.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't. You asked how we met.
Oh, how did we meet?
So I was doing research on a Quantum Leap movie because I was bored at work one day. Was I bored at work? How long ago?
You work hard. You don't get bored at work and
it's-
surf the internet.
It's been
dude.
5 years
Since
we've
known
had
each other.
because we've had TOTLB for almost, I think, more than 4 years. I think this is the 5th year, and so I met you probably
Season 1
a
at
year,
QLP, right? Easy season.
a year or two before that.
Like 7 years.
Yeah, right.
So it's time for the
Does
itch.
that make sense?
I have no
Does the math
comprehension
make
of time.
sense? I think that's
The
sense.
math makes sense, but I couldn't tell you. What about 7 years?
Let's just say that.
That's not bad.
So
Then what happened?
well, I was doing research to see if there 7 years. Where was I, man?
You were
I must have
selling
been at
pet
home.
supplies.
Yeah, it must have been at home. So I got bored with my own in-home work, and I was doing research on a Quantum Leap movie, and your podcast came on. And then
Yay,
I saw that you were
for-
taking volunteers, and so I didn't know how to do anything. So I volunteered for something. I think you were looking for transcribers at the point.
Always,
And you're
never
still
got
looking
one.
for
Never got one.
transcribers.
I wanted people that are hearing impaired to enjoy our show too.
I don't understand that though. Like, I don't understand where you put that.
Oh, you put it in the show notes for the podcast. You say for the transcription, click here, and then like the people that really would love that and need that would because I'm just
So that's a whole. So I'd have to make for every episode. I'd have to make like a blog post about it.
Yep, and then a PDF
And then
of
another-
the transcription.
Well, where do you keep the PDF?
Just on the website with the same as MP3s, you upload it to the media.
But you don't have to create another blog post for
No,
the
it's
transcription.
you just a file that you have a link to in the description of the show. So like people that can't hear, but are Quantum Leap fans, which I'm sure there's a big segment, and I definitely wanted one for the episode with the deaf girl, the deaf dancer girl, but I still don't have it. But then they could click on it and read our show and enjoy it the way they enjoy any kind of
Anything
media.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did an interview with Georgia Fox. Georgia Fox?
Georgia Fox.
Georgia
From what?
NCIS.
Yeah, she called me first by accident. That was my highlight of the week. I told everybody I knew. Georgia Fox called me from CSI.
it was Georgia Fox,
Yeah,
right?
it was the wrong number.
Okay.
Well, she had my number, but you guys used my number.
Oh, so you answered.
Right, because I didn't know. Or something happened, and it was her.
You knew. I tell you things probably days ahead of time.
Okay, I had a crush on her. So,
But-
but as I remember it, because I changed the story as I remember it.
But she called. We did an interview with her about what was she in? It's
What was she
right
doing at the
there.
time?
It's right at the. It wasn't Memento. It
Oh,
was, It was
Memento.
a pop culture classic.
Don't ruin it for me, because I still haven't seen it. It's on my bucket list, movie bucket
Okay.
list.
She was in the movie. She was the main antagonist / protagonist's wife.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, I'll watch
It's
it.
weird.
I always liked her. I thought she was a good actress.
But when we put it out, there's a bunch of Georgia Fox like fan clubs
Oh, absolutely.
and stuff.
Absolutely.
And so somebody out there retweeted the tweet, and I kind of clicked on something, some kind of blog post they made, and they transcribed my whole episode,
That's
that whole
awesome.
interview.
That's awesome.
And I was like, "Did you do that?" She said, "Yeah," because it was short. It was like 22 minutes
Yeah.
or something like that.
Our show's in 3
But
hours.
still, like
Yeah.
it was really cool. I was really blown away by that.
People that can transcribe, it's no big deal for them. They just listen and type at the same time.
Right.
I can't do it. And I've tried all automated things, and they kind of work, but not enough.
There's some people in these podcast groups that claim that some of these other websites do work and stuff like that. Transcribers cost a lot of money.
Yes, they do. It's like so much a minute.
Yeah, it's weird. Or so much a word too sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. It's weird. But anyway, you look for transcribers.
And then I said sure. And then what did you end up doing at first?
Editing.
That's right, because that's what I needed help with the most.
Yeah, I didn't do anything but edit. I didn't do.
Not easy.
It was weird because I'd never done it before. I don't edit things. I mean, I do now.
And you learned to do it just so you could help.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I don't know.
I appreciate it.
But I don't think I did anything else though. You literally sent me files, I edited them, and I'd send them back.
Well, at the time, that was what I was getting heat for the most. Is every night I was editing. So.
Oh wow. You edit for fun.
I do. Now I edit for a job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
That looks awesome.
I think we're good.
Oh, we're good.
Thank you, man.
I edit for a living.
Yeah.
So that came out.
Yeah.
There's a straw in my.
How would you not know? How would anybody know that you were going to be editing for a future career?
I didn't know.
Right. People were trying to stifle you.
People.
Right?
And then what happened? We became friends because you started doing more and more for the podcast. Like you took on any task that needed to be done. So you were definitely like the go-to guy for anything I needed. So then you became like a co-producer or something?
Something like that. I don't know. We give each other arbitrary names. I don't like that.
We should make up other names like God of something. Or
God
Czar,
of War?
Czar of Media.
Alfredo's good.
That's the good part. The rest of it is just the excuse to eat the Alfredo.
But yeah, I just filled in anywhere.
And then you started your own podcast.
I honestly think it was like 2 years later. And I was like, I was thinking of ways, and I still am. How can we grow? You know, and I had recently started listening to, before I asked you, I had recently started listening to, they don't do it anymore, but it was Jay and Silent Bob Get Jobs.
I remember the concept for it, but I don't know if I ever listened to it.
I think Jay was just getting sober.
So he was trying to keep him busy and stuff. It was kind of like Paris Hilton and whatever Richie.
Oh, Lionel Richie's daughter?
Yeah, and then they would get jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but
rich,
James on. Well, that why it's funny because they didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
If they knew how to do their jobs, it would have been funny.
But it was like Hollywood Babylon for its time. Because they would do news and entertainment news, and they would do bus news, which was hilarious.
Bus news?
Yeah. Jay did a segment where every time they did a new episode, he'd look up if there was any news involving a bus. And then he'd just repeat that and they'd talk about it.
Kind of like Florida Man now.
Yeah. So it was funny. But I really, as soon as I started listening, I got into it. Couldn't stop. And I just wanted to do it from then on. So helping you out was kind of in the door.
What was your first podcasting experience? Was it on our show?
No.
Were you a guest? No?
No. I've never been a guest on the Quantum League. Well, I have been, but
A couple times.
that's when you came over here.
And then I was on your show a couple times. And then, how did we first meet in person?
The hurricane.
Hurricane, what was it called?
No idea. You ran
Irma.
away from it.
Irma.
There you go.
We evacuated, and we went to Indiana.
I'm sorry.
It was nice. They had a White Castle.
I'm not a big White Castle fan.
Well, if you're not allowed to have White Castle for geographical reasons for years,
Well,
when
there's
you're
no
in
White
state-
Castles around here.
there's none in Florida either.
Yeah, I had to go to Indiana and Chicago to get White Castle. And it wasn't that good.
You didn't enjoy it?
Yeah.
I'm from New Jersey and they had White Castle, so I think it was one of those comfort foods.
Right. That makes sense. But I had to get it because it was in a movie.
Oh, Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
Great movie. All of them. 3 of them.
I mean, if there's a full movie dedicated to going to get White Castle, it's got to be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that good?
So we were in Indiana, and the states.
Been there many times.
Our town still didn't have power,
Right.
and both our jobs were relying on internet and power.
Right.
And the town was slowly getting power back, but internet was still out. So you invited us to stay at your house because you're a good guy,
Right.
and your wife's a kind person. And we got invites also for people that had an empty apartment in New Jersey. But
Family or something, wasn't it?
no, it's like an old friend. His name's Scott. I went to like 1st, 2nd grade with him, kindergarten. Cool guy. And he said, like, my girlfriend stays with me. You can stay at her apartment for as long as you need or whatever. Everybody was really kind
Right.
because there was like a mass exodus out of Florida.
Didn't you go to New Jersey too?
We wanted to on the way back, but then we were so just done. You know, we heard there was electric and internet, and we just straight lined it to Florida. But so we drove out to Colorado. That was a drive.
Taste it?
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you.
You probably could have made it to Colorado before Indiana.
Yeah, but
I was like, what do we?
well, she wanted to see her dad, and Rennie's grandpa wanted to see Rennie, and it all worked out. They were great. It was nice.
So it was for family.
Yeah. And at the time, I considered her family my family, and I still do. Her family still loves me. And Rennie had fun, and we had fun. We had a good time. And her dad's girlfriend was really cool, and her friends were really cool. She had like a hippie friend, and there was like bonfires every night in the backyard. The girlfriend's friend was like a hippie chick, and she was cool. They were both cool. I got along great with them. So after everybody got to bed, we just sat around the fire. This was cold. It must have been wintertime. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But it was cold, and we'd sit around the fire and just talk for hours. It was really fun. They were really nice people. And then we went to Colorado. What were we there, like a week?
Something like that.
So what did you think when you met me?
Same guy.
Same guy? No different?
No.
And I got to meet Gabe,
Yeah.
the kids. You just call them by name on the internet, or are they thing 1 or thing 2? Or...
Oh, I don't think he cares.
Huh?
We talk about him all the time.
Okay. Oh, I know. I listen to your show.
Right.
So I got to meet Johnny and Felicity, which was awesome. They're great people. And got to enjoy the home cooking. And I think we became good friends then. Yeah. Met Taylor and Devin. Gabe and Mel.
Did they come over?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
A couple times the week we were there.
Did they?
Yeah, there was a barbecue.
They're good people.
And there was a football game or something. I forget. It was nice. And then what happened?
You went home.
We went home.
Honestly, I want Barren Space to grow. I think Barren Space can grow to be something bigger than what it is, which is nothing right now except for a banner.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
It just takes people trying to push towards that goal. And that's what I think bothers me the most, is that people don't do that.
My thing lately is podcasting is a great medium, but there's no money in it. Unless you do it through Patreon. But I don't
care
think-
about the money.
Well, to make a big company, you need revenue. You can't make a big company without.
I don't have revenue. Well, I mean, yes. Eventually, if you want to make a giant company, I'm just saying I want to grow.
As what's the end goal?
I don't know yet, but you don't necessarily always need an end goal to want to grow.
No, I understand.
To make sure you want to strive for something bigger.
No, I understand. Yeah. This has scallions on it. It's good.
I just don't understand some things. Like me and you, we have agreement. I don't think anybody knows about it.
I don't think so. I think so. Well, no, maybe.
I don't think anybody knows about it.
Chris.
Does Chris know?
Yeah.
But essentially, you can split it down however you want, but essentially we're 50-50 partners in Barren Space. And I like that. I don't have no problem with you.
Thank you.
And that's a beauty thing. That's a beautiful thing, right? We were talking about it earlier how normally I would say something if I had it, but then I do. But I don't. What you do doesn't bother me at all. Like I think you do what you do, and that's cool. And hopefully we can grow. That's really the thing, you know. If we can grow, if we can get Barren Space to grow each thing that we do, and we can get an extra at the beginning 100, 200, 300 people to listen to everything that we do, it's helping. You know what I mean? But right now, Barren Space just stands alone because nobody does anything with it except for me.
Well, I accept a lot of the responsibility for that because when I went through my darkest times the past few years, I dropped the ball everywhere, all the time. And, you know, it was a dark, depressive time.
Right.
And it just fell down my priority list. First priority list was
The baby.
The baby. Keeping Serenity serene. Next was staying alive. That's difficult in those times.
Oh,
but
yeah. I agree.
Priority number one to keep me going.
Right.
So everything else just fell away. And slowly I'm getting back to being myself.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to that. Now, during those past few years, YouTube has taken off like crazy.
A lot.
And like our friend Allison that works on the QLP. And other channels that I watch, and I see the views they make, the fans they have, the revenue they have, the opportunities they get. See, it's not always about money, but opportunity.
Right.
And like one of my favorite channels is Linus Tech Tips. They just started with one guy and a camera reviewing a couple products, and now he's got something like 30 employees, and he rents this huge building, and they're making a high quality videos.
Sorry about having to watch me eat wings, by the way.
Oh, some people are getting off on it. They're doing it slower. Suck the sauce off. Suck it off. Dip it again.
Getting it.
Dip it again. Oh yeah, slow. Dip it again. Where were we? Yeah,
I don't remember.
Okay.
YouTube.
So, but they're also making a crap ton of money.
Right.
But people are sending them products to review.
Right.
So in our case, my thought for the future of the company is podcasts, but like video podcasts like Kevin Smith's doing, because he's even moving to YouTube.
Some of
He's
it.
doing a lot of his podcast video also.
I think they do more snippets of video.
Well,
And
like
you gotta
I've seen
pay.
Hollywood
Hollywood Babylon
Yeah.
has and I think honestly, if I'm being honest, I think some of that has to do with Ralph Garman getting fired from his job.
Oh.
And so I think that they moved Hollywood Babylon to a premium thing if you wanted to watch it, so that they could
Yeah.
help offset
There's
some of
still
that.
a free whole episodes here and there, right?
I don't think so for the video. I think it's just the audio. I think I could be wrong, but I agree with you. Video's good, but it's so much easier with them because they're famous.
Right.
I don't understand the people who do
my
this.
example
I don't understand the people who do this on YouTube.
Oh, what that?
The ASMR bullshit.
Oh, dude. That's
they
a totally
get
other subject.
Billions of views, not dollars. They
I
get a
didn't
lot of
understand
money.
it yet. I didn't understand it yet. But I've been lonely, right? The past couple years. And I go 3 or 4 days by myself at home, working, and then I try to find something to occupy my time. So I'm on, like YouPorn, Chatterbait, YouTube, right? Stuff like that, right? And on YouTube, there's this ASMR girl that cleans her house. So like, she'll start off with a messy room, and then she'll take whatever she finds to put away, and before she puts it away in the drawer it goes in, she'll take it by the microphone and rub her fingers on it.
That's weird.
She goes,
It's weird.
it's a hairbrush. And she puts it away. And for some reason, I can watch that for hours.
That's weird.
But only with the ear pods on, because it like tickles your brain. Whatever it is, it tickles your brain.
It's the weird. I don't understand it. It's the
It
weirdest
is very
thing.
odd, but I understand it.
I don't.
What does ASMR stand for? Audio.
I think it's audio,
Stimulation,
sensory.
sensory.
shoot.
Manipulation
Or management. It's something to do with your sensor.
But so I got to watch a very beautiful woman clean a house.
That's weird.
And
I don't understand that. That's weird.
Well,
That's a really weird and odd thing to say out loud.
I wanted the opposite of what I had before. So I wanted a woman to clean the house. And it was a turn on. Because it made me think there are always possibilities. And so I understand the ASMR. But my point with the Linus Tech Tips is he wasn't famous.
Right.
But he worked hard.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And he built an empire.
I agree.
And people will fly him out to all over the world just to look at his stuff and make a video on it.
Right.
So...
Because you get millions of people to look at something.
Right. And we're not Kevin Smith. But if we have a big enough following, I think they're calling it like the influencer community or something. If we have a big enough following and a new movie's coming out, they're going to fly us to wherever to talk to whoever about whatever.
Right. Or you get screeners.
Yeah, different things.
Yeah.
But that's the way the company can grow.
I agree.
And then if we do get revenue from those YouTube videos, we can use that to pay for the things and build the company.
And that's why, personally, I took it upon myself, thanks to my mother-in-law,
She's awesome.
to try and jump into the video market. But I think it starts with us. Allison, I don't know you.
Great person.
I hear you're great.
Kind.
But how do we capture her? I mean, if she's going to be a part of Quantum Leap, and again, I don't want anybody to think we own them. I don't want anybody to think that, because we all do this for free.
Yeah, absolutely.
I literally, me and you, just spent 3 days worth of working our butts off for free. It was because we love what we do. You know what I mean?
And we both spent a lot of money.
Right,
doing
a lot of money.
it.
Yeah. And I do spend a lot of money. And so it's both frustrating, but I kind of understand. But if you have a built-in Quantum Leap audience,
which we do,
on not even just you though, her specifically.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about her. How do we not translate that to our own show?
Well, honestly, she was going to help us with that. But every time she shared a link, I don't know how to set up a server. I drop the ball again because I can't stop the virus.
No. But what I'm saying though is even beyond that.
Okay.
If someone got on video, and I'm sorry, Allison, I'm really not picking on you. I don't even know if you're gonna watch
Just
it.
using it for example.
So yeah, I'm just using an example. If she were to make a video to say, hey, I also manage the Quantum Leap podcast Twitter, you guys should go follow that. You know what I mean? And then she could make a video for the Quantum Leap Twitter account, and not necessarily just use her Twitter account, and just use her YouTube account.
Well, why not just give her
the
the Twitter account and say you're in charge of the Quantum Leap Twitter? I don't know who's in charge of Quantum Leap Twitter.
That's
Is it
my
you?
point.
Why drop the ball?
That's my point, though, is that Chris changed his password, so I had to go find it, and so they have the information.
Okay.
I don't understand why we're not utilizing the
I'll ask her to do it.
That's my point.
I'll ask her to do it tonight.
We all have busy lives. We
Right.
all. I literally just took 4 days off of work, not feeding my family, to do something that isn't going to pay me.
Right.
It's because I love it. It's because I love Barren Space and I love what we do as a whole. And I just sometimes it's not a knock at anybody. I just wish sometimes people would have that gusto.
Everybody that volunteers for us, I think down to a person, would do anything I asked them to do if they were comfortable doing it.
Right.
But it's my job to ask them.
Right.
So that's what I have to do. So that'll be the next step.
And she's probably worked her ass off to get her followers, right?
Oh yeah, that's
I
hard work.
guarantee you.
She
It
works
is.
very
It's not
hard.
easy.
She works very hard.
And so I just wish somehow we figure out how to. Why? I mean, I don't understand. One, I don't even understand why we're not using our own stuff. We're not using our Twitter handle. I hardly ever see it get used. I go on and I retweet stuff of mine from our own channels, which everybody should do.
Right.
You know, if there's a new Quantum, the thing is, the way Facebook goes is sometimes I don't see a new Quantum Leap podcast that's come out until days. You know what I mean? So if a Quantum Leap podcast comes out, it should be blasted somewhere to us so that we can share it.
Yes, please. Yes, no, thank you.
So that we can, you know, I can retweet it on Twitter. I can share it on Facebook or whatever, you know what I mean? So that I can help, because I feel like it's partly my responsibility to do so as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we're not using the tools that we have at our disposal to do that.
Right.
Nobody needs permission. I mean, Chris has all the information.
Yeah,
I think Allison has all the
very
information.
forthcoming with passwords.
Right.
I don't think
We're not trying to ship.
No.
Well, I mean, for Facebook, you don't need any passwords. You just need to
be an admin, and I think she's an admin. I would think she's not on Baker.
So I mean, Hayden, for as much as I don't agree or you know, I don't understand, he uses the Facebook page exactly like I think it should be used. Like he posts all kinds of shit, which is good because it gets a lot of people on the product. You know what I mean?
He's really trying hard to make that something, and he's done a lot for it. And he's always trying to get people to do something with him for the Quantum Leap podcast. He's got a lot of.
He should just do it by himself.
And energy, and he does.
He should.
But
make a video. While keep making them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it got a lot of views.
I took it upon myself because nobody was helping me, which is fine. To start making in the car videos because it's the only time I have to.
I love those. The only time I don't watch them is if you're talking about something I don't want to be spoiled. But I still go there and like it.
Right.
But I don't watch it.
I just think we should, if we can. I get it. Life's hard. I work a full-time job as well. I have 2 kids. I completely commiserate and understand.
Beautiful children.
And I understand. But I also love what we do. And I feel like that if we all love what we do, we should help it. And we figure out ways to do that.
We're talking about business, so this is a write-off, right?
Well, yeah.
Hopefully we get
This
enough
whole weekend is a write-off.
Hopefully we get enough views to pay this for the bill anyway.
That's how I feel.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I'd like to apologize to you for dropping the ball last week.
It happens. It's not nothing you need to apologize for.
The consequence.
Nobody needs to apologize for anything.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for being there when I needed you, and not being there when I didn't need someone. I don't know how to say that.
I don't know how to say that. I don't know what you're trying to say with that last part.
You handled my situation perfectly.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
Again, we're getting raw, right?
What?
Right? We're getting raw.
Say again?
We're getting raw.
Raw?
Right?
Yeah, sure.
So there was a time when you wanted to give me everything.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to walk away from the world.
I didn't want to do that.
I appreciate that.
I didn't want to do that. You know, because that wasn't what my plan was. I didn't plan to come in and just take everything over, because that's stupid. That's not. I want to help enrich and grow something. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to do that. And so we came to the agreement, however that works out, and I just want it to grow. That's all I want. However that ceases. By the way, I love what you did with TOTLB.com. It looks phenomenal.
I worked on it.
Really
right?
cool. It looks really cool.
Here's my thought. We're going to the Denver Pop Culture Con, and we're asking people to do interviews. So they're going to look at our stuff for a second. If they're kind of like maybe, they'll go to our site.
I don't know yet.
Could I have one more piece of garlic bread? Thank you. Just to get all that off right away. And I thought they're going to quick go to our site.
Right.
And at the time, I had just switched servers and rebuilt everything, and it didn't look so good. It looked like your basic WordPress page. So I was like,
It looked like we needed it to.
Right. But
At the time.
to make it work.
Right.
Because you need a good WordPress page to make iTunes work, make podcasts work.
I think you need a website engine
For anything.
for a podcast. I think you need a landing page.
So that's another thing. What I want you to do, if you're up to it, it's your company, well, not company, but show, TOTLB.
It's our company.
It's our company. But to take all those videos that you're producing for YouTube and make them blog posts on the website to fill it out more. Because there's no reason not to. All you have to do is copy paste the link and it's there. And that's the post. And But I wanted it, if people were just going there at first glance, that's why I made the front page look beautiful. But if you went to page 2, there was no thumbnails or anything. So
And
I'm glad you went back
in
and
and filled out some of those.
I saw that.
I
was going to do it.
It's like 10 pages.
Oh, that's good.
So I didn't do 10 pages. I think I did 3 or 4.
Okay.
But it's a lot of pages.
Well, I went to 2 or 3 pages and I said, oh, we did it. Good.
Yeah. So I do need to do that. I
So
agree with
we
you.
might have got just 1 or 2 more interviews than we would have if they went to our page
I like
and looked
it.
like crap.
It looks really good. It looks really good.
That was me starting back to help it
Right.
with everything.
I love it.
Yeah. So, and we should. She's a YouTube star. She legitimately is. I mean,
Allison.
And as soon as she posts a video, it gets thousands of views
Right.
that day.
And we're not. Here's the thing. I'm not perfect. I
Close.
by any means I
Close.
could do a lot more than I do as well. You know what I mean?
work hard.
I'm not throwing stones.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I'm not throwing stones thinking that I'm on some kind of pedestal, because it's not. I don't know half of the things that I'm trying to do. I don't know how to video edit, but we got it together, and I made sure that we did it, because I think that's a good area to grow into.
I'll send you a link to the video editing suite. That's the easiest to use.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And so it's just, it takes a little bit of ballsiness to do it. You know, if you look I don't like being on camera because I think I look stupid. But
I think you're handsome.
I don't
I
care.
honestly
though.
do.
I'm at the point where I just don't care. It's time to do it. It's time to move forward, because, like you said, YouTube gives you the ability to make a good amount of money.
Right.
And while maybe it wouldn't be necessarily to line our pockets, it would be to cover San Diego Comic-Con, cover
Right.
a Quantum Leap convention,
But then we could go to
cover
like
equipment.
a London convention and interview people.
Yes.
Because it's for the show,
Right.
and the supporters aren't supporting people like us, content creators, for us to make money. They're supporting us to make more content.
Right.
And that's all we want to do.
Right. I don't want to line my pocket. I mean, I do, but I'm not doing that for this or this for that.
I need to ask Allison more for advice on how to do what she did. for
Right.
us. So I don't
just
necessarily need her to do it, but I need the knowledge.
But I think that she could do it.
Oh, she could.
I
if
think
she
that
wasn't
she
busy,
could.
but she's working all the time.
And she might. Again, I don't know her. I don't know her life. This is an example because I know she has a lot of people. I think if she was like once a week on her channel, she made a short video that said, in 2 days, I'm taking over the Quantum Leap handle, and I'm going to do some content over there.
Well, they have guest social media people, so we could start off like that. Thank you so much. Like, for example, like Alexa Bliss will take over the Twitter account for Reese's Peanut Butter Cups
Right.
or something for the day or the week or something.
And
So
I
we
think,
could have her do that.
and I think that if she told her current followers that, maybe not all of them transition, but some of them will.
Well, how many views did she get on her Quantum Leap lint, Dean Stockwell lint dryer lint painting? How many views did she get on her pictures she found? Of
She's
the
amazing,
mirror
by the
image?
way. I hear. That's why we're giving her so much props.
I talk a lot about her because I think she's a really great addition to our team.
I think so.
Very smart, very funny,
I don't know anything about her. I'm
Smart,
sorry.
funny, kind.
Sorry for that, Allison.
smart, funny, kind.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. And she would do anything to help anybody. And her views for the lost ending photograph negative she found. So there's a big crossover
Oh, yeah.
audience.
That's my point.
Right.
That's exactly my point.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask her.
You know, maybe when she gets the next Quantum Leap thing in the mail, she tells her viewers on her channel that she's going to open the box on our channel.
Well-
Go subscribe. Go watch.
Well, I think she's got a video coming out for the newly released Lost Ending, big news video.
Yeah.
Right? Totally brand new information.
Brand new.
Information about the Lost Ending, the Quantum Leap coming out. So she's going to make a YouTube video, I think. And I haven't asked her, but I assume she's going to promote her show Quantum Leap in it. But I'll double check tonight to make sure.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she?
But that's why. That's my point.
The last time she made a Quantum Leap video, though, I don't think she was a full-time host yet. She was considering it, but she's got other podcasts too. She's got a Charm podcast, and she does
Charmed? I'm sorry.
the new Charm and the old Charm.
That's the worst of the two.
I've never watched the new one. What, the new one?
It's the worst of the two.
I like the first seasons of the old one. About season 4 or 5, I gave up.
That's what I love what we do. I can talk about whatever.
Anything. You had a great idea. Mine is Quantum Leap. Yours is everything. Why didn't I think of that?
I don't know. Quantum Leap's good though.
The consequences of me dropping the ball for over 2 years, easily, was a lot of our listeners started their own Quantum Leap podcast.
I saw that there was a weird influx of
There's
them.
like 5 of them. And it was my fault for not changing directions when I needed to.
Right.
Hoping to go back to the standard format.
Which is fine. I mean, who cares?
But then at some point I had to call it. Is Johnny okay?
Yeah. He was rooting for Sandra, and she won.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Sandra. She wins everything. I think that's why they made...
Spoil me.
No.
Don't spoil me.
She's good at winning, and so is Rob. I think that's why they're mentors on the new season and not playing.
Right.
Have Rob... I don't know if they played the same season. Because
And I don't think he has a desire to play
I don't
anymore.
think you could, because it would be a tie vote, because they would both win. Did you watch Rob and Amber get married?
No.
You might have to look on YouTube or download it somewhere. But it's called Rob and Amber Get Married. They made a whole special about it.
Nice.
You know Amber yet?
Yeah. Do I? I don't know.
met her on
I know
Survivor.
who she is. I just don't know if we know her in universe.
I cried. Because I saw them meet. I saw them
You
fall
always
in
cry.
love. I do. I'm a softie. But yeah, we need to utilize our people better, and that's my fault. Because I have literally people...
It's everybody's fault. It's my
like
fault
messaging
too.
me.
It's my fault too.
I have people messaging me. Is there anything I can do to help? I don't know.
Well, and again, we never said anything, and I think that was by design. Because my plan is not to come in and change everything. At the beginning, my plan was to come in and make sure that we were finally creating content again.
Yeah. And now we are.
And now we are. I don't need to touch everything. I don't give a fuck.
Chris is working his ass off.
I hear.
He's our only audio producer, except also Allison has edited the Quantum Leap podcast a couple times too.
Nice.
If you ever listen to her edits, it's really cool. Because anytime they reference something funny, she'll drop a clip in there of something, and it's kind of like pop-up video for audio, and it's really awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And Chris is kind of adopting that style now too. But yeah, they were tag teaming it, so it came out every few weeks instead of once a month or something.
Every other week is fine.
Yeah, as long as it's consistent.
Right.
It doesn't matter how often, as long as it's consistent,
Right.
people know you're still going and you
Right.
count it. And here's my thing. I feel like my time on the Quantum Leap podcast is done. Except for interviews here or there.
Sure.
But the new team is so good and I enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the new audience has grown.
Yeah.
And they enjoy them. And they do great shows.
You guys do big numbers.
I think that's because we were first.
I think it's because
And we do great interviews too.
we do amazing interviews. I think it's
And
because
that's because you and David, you two get the best of the guests.
I think it's because you're doing something focused, whereas we do stuff on everything, so it's unfocused. So you might not like every aspect of our show because we talk about so many different things. Whereas when you tune into the WWE Alexa Bliss show, you know what you're getting. You know, when you turn into QLP, you know you're getting Quantum Leap. That's what I don't like about Chris Jericho's podcast.
Right, because he does
Is
everything.
that it's everywhere.
Which is,
you
you
know,
do everything on your podcast.
But it's for me, it's everywhere as far as pop culture goes, entertainment. You know what I mean? His worlds are yoga. His worlds are musicians, and his worlds are things that I know I don't already like. You know what I mean?
I pick and choose,
So,
and I
yeah.
usually go for the wrestlers or people that I like.
Right. And that's why I understand for us it's harder because we're throwing a giant net out there to see what might work and what might not work. Whereas you're focused on one thing. And I think that works better.
For me, I don't know what I want to do. Because I want to be an on-air talent.
Right.
At something. Because I enjoy the production. I enjoy the figuring out how everything works and helping everybody with everything.
Right.
But I also want to get my voice out there, enjoy talking to people. Like this past couple days at Denver Pop Culture Con, I really enjoyed interviewing people. And for me, the 15-minute time limit on some of them was kind of horrible for me. Because I would have talked to these people hour and a half. Because, you know, I find people interesting and I want to hear their story.
I love it because it makes me feel like a real journalist. You know what I mean?
Oh, what we did?
Yeah, because it feels like junkets. It feels like things
Absolutely.
that and
That's what a junket would be.
I actually do consider myself a journalist, whether I'm real or whether I suck at it. I don't know. That's up for people to decide. But I think we are. I think that's what we do. I think we cover
this weekend
news.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
You do all the time since the beginning of the TOTLB. But I felt like a journalist because I had some good interviews.
Yeah.
And they were good guests, and I met good people. And I was a little nervous at first for this video.
Right.
But as I went along, and towards the end, I was like, I got this. And I almost felt like this is what I want to do. Like if we traveled around and did different things,
We just need the money.
people, huh?
That's the problem, is we need the money to do that.
So first step, underwear. Third step, profit. You just got to figure out step 2, which is getting Patreon or supporters or subscribers or revenue of some sort to help us do what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, we have Patreon, but it's like $100 a month.
Right.
You know, something
Which helps with servers and different things. And the new QLP cast, like I call them QLP the next generation, and I make jokes about how I'm Gene Roddenberry, and once I got out of the way, it turned out to be a good show. But I'm just so lucky that those 3 just gelled together so well, and they wanted to do it. But like that would be something I want to do, and they're self-sufficient now on the Patreon. Like when I pay half the bill for the server, when you pay half the bill for the server,
Right.
That's coming from the QLP Patreon.
Mine comes from my wallet. I think I'm okay. Thank you, brother. Everything I do comes out of my wallet, out of my personal wallet.
Where does the TOTLB?
So most of that goes back to Patreon. So their shirts, their hats.
Oh, like the rewards.
The rewards. Yeah.
You're doing
so right
physical
now,
rewards.
Right now, yeah.
The best thing to do is digital rewards.
We don't have time. Can't do it. That's the problem.
Eventually,
Yeah.
like when your followership grows and your patrons grow, there comes a point where like it's better to produce one thing and give it to everybody at the same time than producing one thing for everybody. Does that make sense? Like shirts and hats are cool.
Again,
but
Juan,
shipping.
and this is nothing against Doyle, nothing against Tim, and
I
nothing
didn't get to meet
against
Doyle
Gabe.
this time.
You didn't.
Did I meet him last time? I want to say
no.
I did. Who
I
did
don't think
meet?
so. I don't
Gabe?
remember.
Mel?
I don't remember.
Juan? Did I meet Dominic last time? I don't think I
No,
did.
this is the first time you met me.
So I think I
in
met
person.
Doyle when we recorded TOTLB at your kitchen table.
I don't remember. But for 99%
Did you work
of
at a
it,
meatpacking plant?
yes.
Then I met Doyle.
Okay, there you go.
Hey Doyle.
For 99% of it, I do everything. I do the social media posts. I do any blog stuff on TOTLB WordPress site. I edit. I do any social media interaction on Twitter, Instagram, for the most part, 99%. And that's what I'm saying is that if I were to be like, we need to do Patreon stuff for videos, it would fall onto me. And it's increasingly harder and harder to add more stuff to my schedule. And it's not a knock at them. Again, they have their own lives. If they don't think that this is as important as I do, I understand that. I get it. You know, but at some point, then I've got to go, well, how important do I feel like it is to me? Because I try my hardest to not sacrifice time with my babies.
Yeah, they come first, no matter
They
what.
do, and this is the time that I know, like, no matter what, I'm going to be at Denver Comic Con. No matter what, I'm going to be at San Diego Comic Con. You know, Colorado Springs is weird. Me and Gabe have talked about picking up a different con instead of Colorado Springs, but then we run into, okay, well, how are we going to pay for it? How are we going to make it happen? And so it's hard. It's hard to, for me, it's easier because I have a brother who makes shirts. I have a brother who makes hats. It's easier for me to say, hey, I need 5 shirts. Just make it happen. We'll pay for it. That's way easier than getting 15 or 20 minutes.
Well, that's not costing you $100 a month, is it?
No. Everything is built in so that there's something there for the show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that if we do need it, but we haven't needed anything.
And mixing boards coming out, microphones,
Right.
more microphones.
But we haven't needed most of that stuff yet. And so right now it's just sitting. It's not doing anything. So the mixing board that we're gonna get hopefully is gonna cost me nothing, thanks to my mother-in-law. So it's just sat there. at this point. It pays for a lot of the shirts. It pays for when we have to renew the business license, when we have to do the things that the business needs. That's what it pays for. But a lot of it, like this stuff, where I'm out expensing meals and I'm out expensing flights and I'm doing all that, it comes all out of my pocket because I don't feel like I should be double dipping into that right now. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's for other things, and I don't want anybody to think that I use $300 to rent a car of their money, you know, and that was to go for funsies or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't like that. So I everything goes out of my pocket almost exclusively.
The QLP guys, they're producing content for the patrons now that they're reaching the new levels.
Right.
Christopher D. Philippus, published author of a Quantum Leap novel, wrote a spec script for Quantum Leap.
Right.
And they're going to do a table read of it as a patron exclusive reward for the patrons. A couple other things too. They're gonna do a show on Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park because Matt and Dale had never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
Really? You like how my voice gets high when I say really?
I like how you are surprised by some random thing that people aren't.
I consider myself younger than I am, and I consider yourself older than you are, so I think we're the same age. So when we don't have the same like pop culture references, like it surprises me, you know. But yeah, they're going to do that. So they're working hard to do that.
Right.
And Chris has crazy jobs. He works hard. You know, and Allison works hard. You know, when you're a YouTube star, you got to hustle. You got to be involved in the social media. You got to. You know, she loves it, but you got to talk to your fans and stuff. And she does like watch parties for her patrons and stuff.
That's cool.
So she'll just hop on and send a message to her patrons. Hey, I'm going to watch Baywatch. You want to watch it with me? And invites them.
Right.
But only the patrons.
Right.
So.
But again, that's 2 hours that I'm taking away from my kids.
Right. It would have to be while they're at school or something.
Because it would fall on my shoulders.
Right.
I'm at work when they're at school.
Would like any of the I know Doyle's filled in for like interviews and stuff. Would he take over some of your responsibilities?
All of them have admin ability.
Okay, but they just don't have the passion for it. But they're good on the show.
You'd have to ask them.
What if you ask them?
I have.
Okay, well that answers the question.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. But what about volunteers like I did? Because I remember the whole first season, I was like, if you want to volunteer for anything on the Quantum Leap podcast, you know, we need this.
I just don't want another hand in the pool that at this point I have to manage. You know what I mean?
But if you find the right people, like I found you, where would Barren Space be without you? No, honestly.
I don't know.
So if I didn't ask for the volunteer and you didn't volunteer,
right?
Where would we?
No, I get it. No. I understand.
Because for every bad volunteer you get a good volunteer. It's about 50-50, honestly. It really is. And the bad ones seem to fade away, you know. And the ones that are good and do stuff, they keep going.
Right.
And,
I agree. At this point in time, I took a week off a few weeks ago to decide what I wanted to do.
For your life or
for the show.
Okay.
I took a week off. I didn't post on any social media because I was tired. It was tiring.
It's exhausting.
Taxing.
It's a grind, especially when you work 50 hours a week.
I work probably 50 or 60 hours a week. It's not. The thing is, it's not even hard work. I'm just there. It takes away from shit that I could be doing.
No matter what you do, you're selling slices of your life, and you don't get that time back. And this is time you can spend with your kids and your wife,
and so
or working on your passions.
And so I took that week off to decide. You know.
So what was your decision?
I'd like to keep doing what I'm doing. It was more. Some of it was a week to just chill out and just do nothing. You focus on whatever else I want to do, you know. And so, and again, I pick on the guys, and it's not, and I don't ever want anybody to think that if they don't do something that Juan tells them, you know what I mean, they're somehow something's gonna happen or some bullshit like that. It's sad because I want a team that wants to be involved. You know, and if they don't want to, that's fine. They do fine on the show. We do good. Everything's good there. I just have to find an arena to figure it out because I want us to grow. We're not perfect. We're not going to get huge, I don't think.
You never know.
You never know. And I just want us to steadily keep growing. You know, whether that's keep putting out content as far as the show goes, Who knows?
That's a great plan now. You got to go through and make sure it's all monetized, or YouTube won't push it.
I'm pretty sure it is. I
Double
just
check.
don't. I don't know.
You don't want to be
I'm
pretty sure.
it is.
You want to be sure because it makes a difference. It makes a difference between 100 views and 1,000 views. It really does. Not
thought-
even for the money, but just for getting followers.
I thought you had to be at a certain number of subscribers to do that stuff.
That's new. That is new. But you have to give it the ability to monetize.
And I think we have.
Okay.
But I think you have to get to a certain threshold.
Yeah. Well, see, they changed it a lot. They've updated their policies a lot. And that's why a lot of the content creators are going to Patreon now. But you do the YouTube to get the patrons. Because, I don't know, podcast patrons are cool now. On Patreon, you can release your own. You can do all your podcasting on Patreon.
Right.
Which is amazing because you don't have to pay for hosting. You know? But people have to actually
people have to pay for it.
Huh?
But people have to pay for it.
Yeah, but people are willing to pay for it. But I don't know what's the ratio of free posts or paid posts.
Are people willing to pay for random people? That's the thing.
A lot of content creators start out as random people. I mean, look at the biggest.
But then maybe they moved to Patreon when they were big.
It's difficult for somebody who grew up listening to records and cassette tapes and watching VHS to comprehend all this brand new stuff.
Huh.
But we have like people like Allison, people like Hayden. Hayden's willing to do the work if you tell him what you want done. You know, and he has great ideas. Allison has the knowledge. Christopher has the production skills. He was a professional producer for news programs.
Right.
And he's a great writer. Anytime I need something written, like he helped me with my resumes, he helped me with everything. Just anything. Even if I send him a first draft or something, he'll send it back and it's polished and beautiful.
Right.
And I assembled such a great team at Quantum Leap now that I'm not needed.
Right. It's good.
Yeah. But it's all about finding the right people.
Right. I agree.
And I think we're doing good on that front. We just got to figure out the methods and procedures to get to where we need to go and how they are right now, because they're constantly changing, and get on top of it and master it.
Right.
And maybe this time next year we can go to New York or Boston Comic Con and have our supporters help us cover the cost of doing that creation. 'Cause it's fun. It's fun. We miss a lot of the panels and the meeting people, because it's a lot of work doing these interviews, but we're also enjoying what we're doing.
Right.
But I would look at, I'll send you a couple of channels of people I like to get some ideas. But I think we figured out today that there's some things I need to do, ask some people if they're willing to help with certain things. And I'm sure they are, but I just have to, because I think a lot of what it is people are just waiting for me to direct them. You know what I mean? So I'll do that.
Well, I'm giving everybody permission without your direction.
I appreciate you yeah, that's fine. Well, you're the hard ass because you're matter of fact. I'm more like, I like everything and everybody.
I like everything and everybody.
Right, but if something needs to be done, you're on
If something bothers me, I'm gonna say it. Not
Right, not me.
just about this. That's just in real life.
Are we? Yeah, sure. Thank you.
You can drink half.
Oh, I can drink it. Well, I need something to pee out later,
That's true. That's true.
so I'll do those things.
But that's just how I am.
I'm glad you like the website because I worked hard on
It
it.
looks really good.
And you didn't respond for like a day.
I didn't look at it.
Oh, is
I
that
didn't look
why?
at it. Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm like, could you check it out?
As soon as I looked at it, I told you that it would look good.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I looked at it, but I just
I
didn't
was
look at
getting
it.
worried, like, oh no, he's upset. Because I way overstepped my bounds, I thought. 'cause
No, I think it looked good.
I don't know. And it looks
I think it
different
looked
than
really
all
good.
other stuff. I think it's perfect for what content you put out. Thank you so much.
I think if somebody wants to point out, because again, I don't want this to come out as a bitch fest, because that's not what it is.
I don't think we said anything negative.
It's not. But I want to be accountable too. If somebody reaches out and is like, hey, you did this wrong, or I would do it this way, or whatever, fine. I don't care. I'll change it. We'll fix it, because hopefully that helps. You just said what you said about maybe you thought you were overstepping, but none of that matters to me. You know what I mean? If the end result is that it looks cool and it works, awesome. You know, if you're like, oh, hey, Juan, I overstepped and the whole website doesn't work anymore.
That was a risk.
Then I'd have been
it really was.
Are you kidding me?
Luckily, I know how to fix that part of it.
But I don't care. Like if Doyle and Tim and Gabe want to get on the website and they want to put out articles every single day of their life, more power to them.
I gave Gabe access to BarrenSpace.com, the main one, because we need somebody to run that. Maybe that's what I'll do for a while. Get Barren Space proper set up.
That's what you need to do. That's what I would like for you to do.
That should be my task.
Because that's, again, a parent company should be the main place.
Right.
Unless you're, for random people, unless you're a giant fan of Quantum Leap,
Right.
TOTLB or something, Barren Space should be the main place where people land and then learn about who we are from there.
Like Kevin Smith stuff, he has one website
Yeah.
that links to all his shows.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, we
What is
all
that?
have our own ViewUsUniverse, I think, .com or something like that. CSMOD is where all the like events that they have are.
Smodcast, Internet
It's
Radio.
one of those. I can't
Something.
remember.
Yeah.
But generally, your main parent company has everything you need to know about everything you do. And then you can link off from there. You know, that's what that is. That's what that's for.
I started
And
the
right now, our
process.
main website does nothing.
Right. I started the process. If you go there, what I'm doing is, because I had to figure out some order that made sense to my brain.
Right.
I'm going chronological order in all the Barren Space podcasts and making sure they work and making sure all the shows are there. Because we lost a lot of shows changing servers.
Oh man,
Because we forcibly had to change servers. 'Cause we went from
I was tired.
a donation server.
I was so tired of that
Yeah.
bullshit.
To
I
the
was
new
tired of
server.
the nonsense.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing. Brent. I'm going to use him as an example.
Great guy.
I don't know the guy. He might be the greatest guy on planet Earth.
He's Canadian.
You know, if you volunteer, again, I get it. I'm not paying you. I don't get paid. I'm not paying you. But, you know, at least, like, at least give me some insight. You know what I mean? If I'm an expert at fixing a website and I'm like, yeah, I'll help you guys out. Just let me know when you need it. And then you reach out to me and I never reach back out to you, what is my purpose then? You know what I mean?
That happens about half the time with a volunteer. Sometimes they're all on board and they'll do anything.
So then we
like
need,
you.
we need to move on.
You're like you and Hayden, for example. No matter what, you're there and you'll do whatever needs to be done. Chris, Allison, Matt, it goes on and on. But then you'll have people that'll volunteer and then kind of fade away.
Right.
It happens.
It definitely happens. But then we move on. We make it so that they're not admins anymore. We do what we need to do to
And
move
we've done
on.
that. We've done that.
Right, and then we try to find somebody else. And I'm not asking for, and I think maybe, and I didn't mean to if I gave anybody the wrong impression of that. I don't need you to give me your whole life. But if you commit to something, I like commitment. That's who I am. You know what I mean? If you could commit to helping me when I call you maybe once a month. I mean, how often do we need things? You know, I would hope that you're there for us once a month. You know what I mean? And that's the sad. It's more, to me, it's more sad than it is anything else. Because I get sad that this isn't working or that's not working or I don't.
Did you ever figure out ads for a web admin?
Did I ever figure out what?
Ads for a volunteer web admin.
I have not yet because I was so focused on this.
Well, this was a big event coming up,
Right.
but maybe when it slows down a little
Yes,
bit, we
for
can
sure.
do that.
But
'Cause if we get 3 volunteers and one of them works out, that's great.
I agree. No, I agree.
And then if that doesn't work out
again,
and we have to pay somebody, that's fine too.
yeah,
But we
and
have to
again,
get some.
I've told you before, if we need to pay somebody to just fix 1 or 2 things, let's just do it.
Because I'm good with computers, but the stuff that's going on is up on this level, and no matter how hard I try, because I thought I conquered it. I was so proud. I was telling everybody. And then the next day, viruses again.
But for me, it's more, I feel sad.
Huh?
If I go a day without putting anything on the, oh shit, I gotta pay. If I go a day without putting anything on any social media, I feel sad because I'm the only one doing it. And now that was the day that maybe I didn't capture the next person. You know what I mean? Maybe that was the day that, you know, somebody who we were doing maybe an interview with looked at it and they're like, oh, they post every other day. You know what I mean? I don't want to do an interview with them. And that makes me more sad than it does mad. And because I don't, for this stuff, I tend generally to not get so mad about things. It's more, I feel sad. I feel a little, and it's about myself. I feel let down on myself because
You're very hard
I
on
sold a
yourself.
car instead of posting about the breaking.
That's important.
No, I know it is. That's what I mean, though. I sold a car instead of posting about the breaking news about something. You know what I mean? And that bothers me. It bothers me internally because I have so much invested in what we do. Of me, not money. Money's replaceable. I don't give a fuck about that. But I mean, as far as, thank you, brother. It's just as far as how we do, how we grow, and what we do as a team, and that bothers me more than anything else.
I think we should have a volunteer page on the Barren Space website of what we need. And
Right.
anybody with ideas of what we need, and then have a sign-up sheet, and then link to that from our social media groups to get volunteers for whatever we need.
Right.
I mean, web admin. We could use a social media person if they feel like they want to do it and can do it.
Right.
And are passionate about it.
Sorry, I'm not good at math.
You go times 10, so you add a 0 and then you double it.
I don't know how to do that.
That's my trick. Thank you, Barren Space.
You mean TOTLB?
Thank you, TOTLB. I keep forgetting I'm part of TOTLB now. I'm inserting myself, just so you know.
Barren Space hasn't paid for anything.
It pays for half the server.
I think that's Albie.
Yeah.
I give credit where it's due, buddy.
No, this past month it was Quantum Leap that did that.
Which is cool.
Yeah, which is cool. But it was Albie the previous, how many years? 7, 8, 9?
It's been Juan for
Yeah.
for half of that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too, And again, I hate doing these things because I'm not looking for credit. I'm not looking for pity. I'm looking for a team of people who hopefully are trying to strive for the same thing. And it's not just my show to be successful.
All the
I
shows.
want all of them to be successful. I want everything that Barren Space does to be successful. And that's really what it boils down to.
I think it will be and it can be. I'm very proud of a lot of the things we did. Like 11/22/63, that was a big
good.
team effort. You, me,
really
Chris, and
It
Skipper.
drained the life out of me.
All of us. Because we had a weekly schedule that the show came out, and we dropped the episodes 12 hours after the episode came out.
Oh, it was the worst.
Yeah.
Why we didn't just watch the show that we got pre-access to and then do interview lineup? Why didn't we just record everything beforehand and then pretend like we had just watched it? No, we did not.
They were a couple ahead.
No, we weren't. I was doing them right after they recorded.
But we still had them done before the show came out on Hulu. That was our deadline.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is we had the show probably a month before it came out. I think.
Right. If we stuck to an hour format, we could have had it.
But
done.
even if it was 2 hours, even if it was 2 hour
What
format,
was it, 3 or 4?
It was fucking long. But even if it was 2 hours, as soon as we got the show, we should have watched them, recorded them, edited them, and then released them every week with the show.
we did.
We did not. I was doing editing and releasing
a lot of that
every
had
week.
to do with feedback too, because we were getting feedback, which was awesome. We got feedback from listeners, but we couldn't get that until after the previous episode dropped.
Of course.
So we had a lot of stuff that was like mostly done or half done, and then they would do a feedback segment, but that would be 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we would add that 2 hours to the other hour.
It was long.
Yes. But I'm very proud of the work.
It was good. It was something that I normally wouldn't watch or really care about. Outwardly, I wouldn't think that I would, but internally, it was something that I loved. It was time travel. It was kind of like almost like a cop kind of mystery thing because he was trying to figure everything out. It was awesome. They did a great job. If it was shorter, it would have been better, but they did a good job.
See, but I love long form. I really do. So I
We're long
enjoyed
format.
listening to it.
We're
yeah.
long format. TOTLB does 2.5 hours to 3 hours every time.
Yeah.
But I'm prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for that when I was told the episodes would be
There was a
an
hard
hour
limit
or
of an
less.
hour. But who was Mr. Softy? Me. And I was like, you can go a little bit over. You can
It's
go
like-
a little bit over.
It's like, what is going on? There's no control.
That was the first show that I felt like I was a producer. and I was successful at it.
It was good.
Yeah.
I think Quantum Leap is the most successful thing we do.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Numbers-wise, absolutely.
But that's all you...
Revenue-wise, no.
It doesn't matter. That's all you can... I mean, what else pulled revenue in? I mean, TOTLB pulls in some revenue.
Well, four times what we make.
But here's why. It's because we connected with our local people. It's because a lot of what we do happens here at home. You know, it's not, and thanks to, you know, Chad and Christine and Derek and Doyle and Devin and Taylor and all these people who help out because we're invested in them. You know, they come on the show, we do things with them, we do events. I think that's awesome. Who, Devin and Tim? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
they
cool.
get a hat every year and a Etch and Sketch rocks glass every year, or a cup of some sort.
Very nice.
So it starts there. That's really where it starts, with our local family, because if at the end of the day that's all of the people who listen to the show, I can understand it. You know, if we're striving to be better and we're striving to put more stuff up and we're striving to grow,
striving to
but
put
we
right
don't.
What once went wrong.
Exactly, but we don't, and the home people is all we get. Like, I get that, but we put on our fucking, we tried. We tried as hard as we could, you know what I mean? Quantum Leap by far is the most successful thing we do, for sure. It pulls in big numbers. You know, how we remedy that or how we copy that, I don't know at this point. But it does good numbers.
We produce something high quality in a vacuum in a market that is starving for that exact product.
Right.
So that's like
perfect.
Perfect timing.
What I'm preparing for is the day we don't have Quantum Leap anymore. You know what I mean? Because then Barren Space shrinks, and if we don't have anything to replace that vacuum, we're relying on smaller shows to do that.
Well, I'm really hoping
Thank you.
I'm really hoping we keep Allison and Chris and Matt and the family, and they figure out how to bring those listeners over.
Well,
to
right
the
now,
product.
what we should be doing is that. We should be figuring out what's next, what comes after this. You know, of course, it's not going to be for 2 years, I think, about something like that if they stay on pace.
Yeah, about that. Well, they're doing the show, then they're doing the novels, then they're doing the comics.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's still
So it's gonna be a while.
finite number.
It is, and I think we need to figure out. We need to start laying groundwork for what comes after those things. You know, I don't think we should start exploring those options because I don't want to run myself thin. But I definitely think we should start looking into what comes next. You know, while we figure out how we grow.
I think we'll be successful because if we keep on pace of what we did this weekend, we'll be very successful.
I tried my hardest.
I try my best.
Should we walk and record?
We're getting the word. We got to end this. We got to wrap it up.
Oh, all right. I don't know who gave us that word, but okay. Thanks, Johnny Carson. I love Johnny Carson.
Me too. I have the DVD set of his.
That's
best
cool.
stuff. Yeah, he's a good guy. So how are we gonna wrap this up? I'll let you take us out.
Let's walk us out to the car. Let's walk it out to the car and wrap up over there.
We don't do that in table for two, though.
Yeah, but we're not table for two. This is whatever we want it
There's
to
a
be.
logo on the beginning that said.
Oh, there
table
was?
Yeah, that said table for two.
Oh shit. Well, okay, I guess we don't do that on table for two. We gotta figure it out though, because I gotta get home.
Okay. Oh, you have a wife and kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very sad that my time with you is ending, but I'm very happy to get back to my daughter.
Me too. And my son. Same sentiment.
And your wife.
Now let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here.